This
your
conference will
reference.
now be recorded.
Okay. So earlier, what we discussed was something about the C4 HANA and SAP, like some concepts about SAP, and then we switched to what is CRM on-premise and what is C4C. Okay.
Yeah.
So today, I will be telling you the journey as we discussed yesterday about how the CRM means SAP evolved
Okay.
with its various products, and then when it came means when did SAP launched its CRM capability, and
Okay.
then on cloud.
Okay. Yeah.
So as you can see over here, SAP is this is nothing but the roadmap, or I would say the evolution of SAP.
Okay.
Okay. So earlier, before this R2, there was R1 as well, which was launched by SAP in 1972. It was based on
Okay.
DOS. Okay. For this R1 and R2, I also don't have much clarity because it was too long back and no one
Too long
uses
ago.
it actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like R1 was in 1972. Now it was on DOS, and then they launched R2, SAP R2, which was in 1979, which was based
Okay.
on mainframe.
Okay.
But then they evolved with something called R3. Okay. Now,
Okay.
why it is called R3? This is like I would not say the latest one, but till 2015, before this, everything was based on R3 only. R3 ERP. Okay. So
Okay.
here they had like three layers. The architecture, I would go again in detail. They had a three-layer architecture. Okay, in R3,
Okay.
like presentation layer, then the your application layer, and then your database,
Okay.
which is the actual working, like how it goes in our for all the application for all the products in nowadays, like the three-layered architecture, like
Uh-huh.
what you see on the screen. That is either now I would say like standing in 2020, what you see on screen, it is like a web UI, that is nothing but the based on your based which is now launched on internet, that is available for all the systems, all the users across. Correct. It is not restricted, but it is now available within your phone, on your mobile phones, on your tablets, and everything. So that is now the latest one. That is SaaS. That is we'll be talking about it in the later stages.
Okay.
But for now, you can understand. For now, you can try to understand this R3, like how the R3 was developed. So the R3, it was called as R3 because it was three layer structure: presentation layer, application layer, and the database layer.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in this R3, there were several PCs, or you can consider like a several servers which were connected to each other to run one or more application. Okay,
Okay.
on one or more database instances. Because in order to process that, you will be needing servers. So this the PCs were considered as a servers which were connected. Means this is like I'm talking about like when Bill Gates started in his garage. Just
Okay.
assume
Okay.
like that. Yeah, so consider it likewise. It was a very initial stages wherein one or multiple pieces were connected to process one or more application and which were run on a database instance. Are you aware of the database application layer, presentation layer?
I know what the straightforward meaning is, but not like in depth. Like
Okay,
I know what it means,
so
like database and everything, right?
yeah,
Presentation and application. I know like the basic essence of it, but not like too much in detail.
okay. So let me show you one screenshot. Consider this, what you see on the screen. I will tell you in detail as we move ahead. This is nothing but your presentation layer.
Okay.
Okay, like how the system presents itself. What are the various tabs that are available for the end user, for the end customer, where he can go and dig in. Okay, like any portal that you see currently on internet, that is nothing but your presentation layer.
Okay.
It depends. You can personalize it. You can, as per your requirement, you want, I don't want this three or four tabs over here, so I can remove it. But the functionality will remain same. But the functionality, as in backend functionality, will be there. It is only like you don't want it. You are personalizing for you as per your need.
Your read. Okay.
So this is nothing but the presentation layer. Now again going back. So below the presentation layer, like user sees one form. Just imagine one form, plain form. User sees a form that is a presentation layer. There are few fields like name, date of birth, and everything. Okay. Now when a user enters his supposedly date of birth is the one field, and he enters the date of birth field like 2021, which is not
Okay.
yet there. We are not yet there. So there will be some
Uh-huh.
business logic behind it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, to populate. Okay, no, you have entered a wrong data. You have entered a wrong date. Yeah, you should enter something less than or equal to today's date. Okay.
Okay.
So all this business logic of accessing the data or while validating any particular data is done in application layer.
Okay.
Okay, so application layer holds your business logic.
Right.
And then comes the database. The database is like, okay, now you have entered the correct data and you click on save. Now, once you click on save, your particular entry goes to the database. Database you can consider in a very generic manner as a tables. These are nothing but a tables. Different types of tables for different tables for a different application, different table for different screens, different table for different objects, basically.
Okay.
Okay. So this stores the data. Like you create a particular ID for your any of the account, and this particular ID gets stored in the one of the table. Consider like one table with the user ID and password. Okay. When you enter your user ID, it validates your password as well. Okay, it is fine. Then it will show. Then with the key as user ID and password, what all entries are there for the one of the, for example, over here over here. Okay, now this is like a search one. Now if you search for any of the city or the accounts for any of the city, like if you give Delhi as a city, and then you will when you hit search, then it goes to the database layer. It fetches all the accounts which are with the
Right.
which are in the city of Delhi. But for this you need to create
Right.
the account. So this is now what we are seeing as a search screen, but there will be one more like a create screen,
Uh,
because the entry should be.
what was
Mhm.
it called? What was it called again?
What?
You said it'll fetch everything from account from Delhi,
Data.
right? And then you said it's called something, right?
Yeah.
What is
So
it?
basically, how it is, I will tell you. First thing
Yeah.
will be like you need to fill in the database. You need to create some entries in the database. Database you can
Right.
consider it as a blank table with zero records, zero entries.
Haha.
Okay. Now, when you are creating entry in the database, what you are doing is you are creating some, you are storing some values in the database with a particular user, with a particular ID, and then it's his details. Like when you have a form wherein that asks for all your information, like phone number,
Right.
then your email address, your
Email
city,
address.
place of birth, everything, name, and
Right.
this is this. Once you click on save, it stores all this information with a particular key, like Anirudh and his second name, then his place of birth and his email ID, phone number, and everything. It will store in the database with. It will give you one ID as well. Okay, when you click on save, it will send you a, okay, this is your ID,
Right.
like Anirudh something something at rate or whatever you have given. So when you try to enter in the search, there will be something called login. As I will just say as a login page. Okay, when you enter your credentials, it will go to the database. It will fetch all your details and it will retrieve it. This is nothing but querying the database.
Right. Right.
Okay, so this is nothing but when you are querying the database. So from SAP's world, you need to be familiar with what are the tables, what are the backend, what is the backend database, because
Okay.
everything that you see, like accounts or activities or account management, email, everything are nothing is nothing but a table, backend table. You can
Okay.
just imagine like a cluster of a tables, like huge cluster
Tables.
of a tables stored in a data, stored on the server, maintained on the
Ha,
server.
ha, ha. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is and when you create any entry, it is getting stored in a respective table. Okay,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
when hitting for a search or anything, then it is retrieving back all the details from the server. Now, this is nothing but the database queries that you write or that a technical consultant will write, but from a functional. Why I'm relating it with you? Because you being a functional consultant, you should be aware like
Yeah. The
what are the
entire picture of
database.
how it works.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Means you should be able to relate everything to your work. Basically, that
Work.
is the
Right.
aim.
Right. Yeah.
So,
That's perfect.
you need to consider like what are the tables, different type of tables, what are the different type of fields, and then which fields the user wants, like a end user, business user wants on their screen. So this is something like a personalization that you will be doing it in the later stages. But at the initial stages, you should be aware like, okay, this particular object, this is basically based on OOPS concept. Are you aware of OOPS concepts?
No.
Okay, that is too much into deep or detailed one
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
won't
No. No.
go.
No. But this level of information is good. Like I've
Okay,
understood till here, so it shouldn't be an issue going forward.
okay. So what I would say is everything like accounts or everything, these are nothing but the objects. Okay,
Right.
just remember the terms. Everything are nothing but the objects, and each object
Okay.
has its own table with the
Okay.
specific fields like accounts. You can see account name, phone, street, this. These fields are related to only accounts. If I go and open email box, there will be some different fields. So it is not like intersection of accounts and emails.
Right.
They won't be having same fields, but there will be a link. Like for this account there is an email address, this, as you can see over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so from a functional perspective, what you need to understand or what you need to gather in the later stages is like you need to understand what are the tables behind all the objects and how to fetch and how to go and how to check them in C4C landscape. This is something we'll be covering, but yeah, you need to make sure like you understand it from your perspective.
Right. Right.
Okay. So yeah, so this was something like R3 with all the presentation layer, then there was an application layer, and then there is a database layer.
Okay.
Okay, so I hope you are clear with all this R3
Yeah.
functionality.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay, but what was the issue with R3? It was evolved in 1992, but the issue with R3 was like it did not had any UI, like a very friendly UI, wherein the actual business users will be happy to work on. It had like a very dull screen. I believe like in 1992 everything was dull, but then too it
Yeah.
was not that. But then too it was not that app. So what SAP had to do is like they need to integrate or they need to use whatever the customer, like end customer, are if they are having any application for their end users, they need to integrate with that so that they can use it, so that the end user can use it. So here there are like two things. The customer, like from what I meant from the customer is like SAP's customer. SAP's customer are like the big industries, like the project that you are working. So entire client is the customer for SAP, not the end user,
Right.
but the customer is like the company for which SAP will be providing their product. So the customer might be having their own user UI application for their end users, which then SAP needs to integrate. so that the end user experience can be achieved. So by that time, it had like a very dull UI, non-responsive UI, I would say, and it was not very much comfortable for other to pitch their product from SAP's perspective to all the customers, because the internet has already came in that it was already there, so everyone was
Right.
having their own application on own UIs and everything. So to match up with that, then they came up with something called as CRM.
Okay.
Okay, CRM also evolved. It was not like the one which I was showing you. This is actual screen of CRM. This is actually SAP CRM screen.
Country.
It was,
Okay.
yeah. So this is so as you are mentioning, like your project is CRM. This is the actual screen, like how SAP CRM looks like. This is an on-premise system, and yeah. So your project might be something like a migration of SAP CRM to C4C.
Okay.
Okay, so from what I understood, and then this is the actual CRM, like how it came. But this was also an evolution. They have like various phases. They launched like PGUI. I will tell you like this. This was the evolution, like how it came to this point. Okay, I will be telling you like how was the journey
Right.
and what were the different things like in their journey. And now the end product is something like this for SAP CRM.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what is so again coming back to R3, like this was something like why it is called as an R3, that we have already covered all the three layers and everything. Do you have any
Right.
questions or anything, or am I
No,
going too
no, no.
fast?
No, no, no. It's
Okay.
you're at the right place. Yeah.
Okay, fine then. So R3 was a combination of various. Now understand actual what is an R3, like an ERP. Okay, ERP is nothing but SAP ERP. You might have heard or you will hear this term SAP ERP. ERP
Yes,
is nothing
yes.
but the enterprise resource planning. Okay, it's basically a concept. It is not a product or anything. It is basically a concept. So what it
Okay.
is like, there are multiple like when you are running a huge organization, consider like Pepsi.
Okay.
Okay, so these companies are very big. They have various small domains in it. Like one is working on manufacturing of Pepsi, another is working on retail of Pepsi. Some is working on the what all products will be used for preparation of Pepsi, like the soda will be used and the plastic bottle will be used. Then
Right.
there will be other things as well, other chunks. But yeah, then there will be one. Then there will be one team or one department working on arranging these products for Pepsi, everything. So everything was, and then there will be something called as a finance, like what is the revenue that is getting generated for Pepsi, what are the then whether it is in loss or a profit, and then there will be something like a distribution as well. Like you will be distributing Pepsi. It is not coming directly to the end user. It is getting distributed and then it is coming to end user.
To the end
So
user. Yeah.
how to distribute to the end user, whether there is a profit, whether there is a discount that should be given or anything. So entire this enterprise, like Pepsi being a big organization, so entirely things like how to organize everything. So you have it in SAP. So you have a different modules. Now this like R3, it was a combination of a multiple modules. Like PP is nothing but the plant planning, MM is material management, SD is sales and distribution, FI is finance, CO, PSA is product supply, then everything. HR is like human resources. The people who are working in Pepsi, their issues, their salaries and everything needs to be
Right.
managed. So this is like HR. Then PM is your plant maintenance. The Pepsi as a big plant, it should also be maintained. Whether there are like AMCs, like you have the annual maintenance cycle for all the, because it's a huge organization. Consider like all the machineries are working, so there should be a maintenance cycle or anything for them. So accordingly, or it has to be like there will be like multiple plants. It is not like one place where all the Pepsi is getting manufactured. There will be like
Right.
multiple plants. So there, then this is like PM. Then there is a QM. QM is nothing but the quality management. The quality of everything should be managed. So everything over here, it is clubbed into R3.
Okay.
Okay, so it is like a big thing. That is why SAP, the customers that SAP gets or SAP um, pitches their product. These are like big industries. You will see why, because it is one of the product that has this much capabilities. So it gets easier from the customer side. Like it gets easier for Pepsi to manage everything in one product. They don't need to have a separate product for PP, for separate product for MM, separate product for PS. So everything will be
Everything
managed
comes
over
under
here.
one roof, so it's easier to manage for them. Yes.
Yes. So that is why so SAP has this many customers, or it has a strong ERP. In the ERP world, SAP is one of the strongest competitor. So why? Because it has various other modules which it can manage. All you will see like there are separate consultants for PP who are working only on PP, from the technical
Okay.
perspective, from the functional perspective, everything. So they are entirely managing the PP because it is a very vast module. It itself is a big module. MM is itself a big module. FI consultants like finance, these are one of the this is one of the very crucial component of ERP, like how to handle the finance and everything. So FICO. So these are the separate consultants who work on finance module, who give a proper billing, like how the billing should be done, whether the posting is happening or not, how it is calculated, and everything. It has been done by them. You won't see a CRM consultant going into FI and doing the stuff. It is hard to manage and hard to believe as well. There are various other complex things that are configured in the system, which FI consultant should take care. And same goes with the vice versa. You won't see any PP or MM consultant going and working on CRM module, because it is altogether a different ballgame.
Right.
Okay, so this is like this was the reason like R3 came into picture. Till R2, this was, I suppose that I am actually not that aware of the how R2 like mainframe works or was working, because everything is now moved to R3.
Move to R3, right?
Yeah, so this is like how the SAP evolved into the journey and came with R3 as a solution, wherein the various other units or the modules were clubbed, and they were pitched as a one product.
Okay.
Okay. Now, organization would use their specified business processes relevant for the industry, depending upon the industry specific solution, and they would make their add-ons. Now, supposedly, Pepsi is working on MM, and there is some another organization on the similar business like Coca-Cola. I'm just giving names, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they might be having altogether different business functionality to handle their material.
Right.
Okay, like the Coca-Cola might be having some other things to maintain their material, and Pepsi might be having something else. So in this, this gave a flexibility to the end customer, like not the end customer, to the customers to manage or to add their business functionality on the R3 box, specific to their industry.
Okay.
Okay, so then someone can customize and enhance. Now you can relate this with your work or your project that will be coming. The SAP C4C is a standard package, okay, that SAP
Okay.
will be providing. Okay, then the same thing will be provided to multiple customers, whether it is in automotive industry, whether it is in retail industry, whether it is in utilities. Same thing will be provided. Now, based on your requirement, you will be modularizing or enhancing the standard SAP C4C so that it meets the business requirement.
Right.
Okay, and this we will be seeing in our next sessions, like how and what are the steps that you need to do, or what are the prerequisite that you should do, so that the SAP standard C4C is then customized or is then enhanced as per the business requirement. And when should we enhance and when not to, that also we will be talking.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, just one more. There is one more backend thing that I have not told you, or it is not mentioned in too much of detail. Like as I mentioned, like presentation layer, application layer, and the database layer. But behind that, there is one more team or something you might have heard, like SAP Basis. Have you
Okay.
heard of this?
Yeah. Like I've like heard about it, but I don't have like or knowledge about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That is acceptable because this is like a separate module. Like SAP's whatever things have been provided on the servers, these are managed by that is nothing but the platform. These are managed by an entire different team, that is Basis. They work on like how what should be the band, what should be the server size, and how the utilization of a particular service is done. So you can consider it as an entirely into a NetWear gateway.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that is nothing but I'm just telling you so that you should be aware of these teams that definitely you will come across. But yeah, it is not necessary that you should. What happens is you should be aware to whom to point what question to.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the basis is something like who deals with entire the architecture or um, the servers of SAP. So if there is anything like it is failing or the server is down or something, then you need to reach out to basis, or you want to communicate something to between the two systems, then you need to again reach out to basis or something like that. So entire
Okay.
system ownership, actual ownership is done by basis.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay.
So
Now this
basically,
is
they're the
how.
people who keep things running in the background.
Yes, there are
Yeah.
multiple people. There will be multiple people who will be running
Yeah.
for different teams, who will be taking care of some other teams, and the one who owns the actual all the system is like a basis team. Then, if you are working on some module specific, like a domain specific thing, then it there will be a different consultants for that as well,
Right.
like
Right.
as I mentioned, like PP, MM, and everything. So there will be a separate consultants for that, whom you should reach out to or question to for any if there is an integration that is in place. Considering like C4C does not have a basis. That I will be
Okay.
also covering why it does not have basis or anything is not required. But yeah, this is like R3 system for which I was talking about. Basically, on-premise system. Now C4 is on cloud. So I will be talking about the difference and why we don't need a basis or anything. But yeah,
Right.
just to be, if there is any integration for any on-premise system, you should reach out to this consultants. Okay.
Okay.
Then this is the actual evolution of SAP, like how it got evolved. Like the R3, it was based on SAP GUI. How the GUI looks like. This is something like the GUI. You can see it is very much unattractive, uh, very dull UI. And
Okay.
this is the screen that actually the end users were working on in 1970s. You will
Okay.
find in some other companies as well, like if you go to car shop, means wherein you service your car. Actually, I have seen, so that's why I'm trying to tell
Okay.
you. Therein you see the posting that they did, or like not now, but yeah, 2 3 years back they would do some posting. It had a very dull UI, like a gray screen, and then they will search for your car or accessories, and then they will post it. So this is something like that.
Okay.
Okay, now this was the GUI which SAP came up with. Now that got changed to PC UI. Then then with the evolution, it came with the IC web client. IC web client is nothing but the interaction center. Like you call the customer center. IC is nothing but the interaction center. Interaction center is nothing but a call center. So when you call a
Oh.
particular Yeah, so when you call a particular customer center, customer care, you provide your mobile number, or the IVR itself takes your mobile number. Please enter your mobile number or your customer ID or some details. Okay, then the
Right.
call gets routed to their web client, and based on the details that you have maintained, it will fetch for a customer itself.
Okay.
Okay, because it will search the search query, which I spoke about in the earlier stages. It will fetch your details based on the key that you have maintained, like a customer number, the unique ID will be your unique ID, and it will fetch all the details with that unique ID.
Right.
Okay, from
Right.
the database, and this will be showing. So this is something like IC web client, and then came our SAP 7.0, CRM 7.0. This is nothing but your CRM web UI.
Okay.
This look like this.
So this is the
Okay.
present look.
Mm, See, CRM on premise. Yes, this is the present look for SAP CRM on premise, but SAP C4C, SAP C4C looks like this.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
I
I
played
would
around with
first.
C4C a little actually.
Uh,
Because with the Hybris, right? So
mhm,
basically, when you for us when we were working with Hybris, uh, like when you place an order and everything, it goes to SAP. As
mhm.
in like it goes to SAP, but when you place a quote, right, it goes to C4C.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for us, when the customer or like when we are testing it and then in development or this we generally like not development in UAT like
Mm.
quality, right? So the quote they go to this thing. So yeah, I've see I like I know how to get to quote and then like see the customer and all that. Like I've seen
Mhm.
the interface and everything, so it's yeah.
Okay, so this gives me also better understanding like how much you are aware. So again, going back to a few of the things that I have talked about, as you mentioned, like you have worked on e-commerce, the SAP Hybris, like I would go over here. This is nothing but that you have worked on SAP Commerce Cloud, which is nothing but the
Uh,
Hybris. Okay,
okay,
so here, so this now SAP Commerce Cloud, this has like various integration points. Okay, there I am not sure like you might be aware or not. It is integrated with your SAP S4 or ERP ECC system. Why I'm saying like you mentioned like you are creating codes and everything, and then if you are creating codes, you are getting the materials or the quantities as well, so you are getting it from some other backend system. SAP Commerce
correct,
Cloud does not hold that. So there is some or runtime integration which is happening, and it is getting some data. So this the from where it is getting data is nothing but your ERP, wherein the
okay,
materials are maintained, wherein the quantities for this particular material, like uh, whatever like pen you are working of, you are selling a pen on your Commerce Cloud, and then
okay,
this pen is maintained as a material, and how many quantities are actually available at with the customer, like with the customer as in with the producer, with the manufacturer, that is maintained. So when you sell it, the quantity automatically reduces. So this is also happening. So this entirely is working on. So when you sell it, there is a billing as well that is getting charged. As you mentioned, like codes are getting generated from C4C. So when the sales order is placed, sales is done, then the billing is happening and again in SAP S4 or ERP. That I think it should be in this way.
right.
Okay. And as you mentioned, like you have seen some screens of SAP C4C, like
C4C,
how it
yes.
works. Yeah. So again, as you mentioned, like sales code you have seen. So again, try to connect it with sales code is a separate table. Sales code is a separate business object. It has a separate screen fields. Okay,
Okay,
try to relate the things. So this screen fields, then you will see when you go to the sales code, there is like a to which customer you are creating a sales code. Correct.
right, right. Right.
And when you click on that particular customer in the code screen or itself, the customer ID is a link between the sales code and a customer. Okay, when you
Right.
click on the customer, you will be navigating to a customer. Consider this as a, are you aware of master data and transactional data?
No,
The
no, no,
term.
no, no,
Okay,
no.
so I will just give you a glimpse. So
Yeah.
basically, master data is something that won't change, like whose details won't change, like customer information, then the material, then there are two types of customer basically: accounts, individual customer, then the material, then your organization structure. These are nothing but your master data.
Okay.
Okay, so if I
To
create one. Mhm.
uh, 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 like in C4C, right? Like
Mhm.
it's just basically holding just the customer data and everything, right? Like it's nothing to do with like pricing and all that, right?
Basically, pricing can be managed. Then again, there is some more details to it. Okay, pricing and all the details can be handled in C4C, but it depends entirely on the customer. Okay, to
Okay.
what
No,
extent
because
they
when you
want
said
to.
information that cannot be changed, right? I thought that as well. But generally, C4C is just like information about the clients, right? Generally,
No, no,
or
no, it
like
is
the
not that way.
order.
Yeah, basically, when we will be talking about Sales Cloud, I will be telling you like you can create the sales entire cycle, like starting from lead, then the opportunities, then sales code, then sales contract, and then sales order in C4C itself.
Okay.
Okay, so these are nothing but the transactional data. Why we are calling it as a transactional data? Because actual transaction is happening between the customer.
Right. Right.
And when the parties are involved, like the company which is selling, like again the Pepsi, and the customer like you, Anirudh. So Anirudh
I'm
is the
sorry. I'm
customer.
sorry. Could you just repeat the transactional data bit again, if you
Yeah,
don't mind?
yeah. So basically, what there are like two types of data. One is a master data, and another is a
Yeah.
transactional data. Okay. Now you need to understand the difference between the master data and transactional data. Transactional data is something like when the transaction is happening, the whatever transaction is getting created between the two parties. Basically, transaction is nothing but the between two parties. One is like a seller and one is like a consumer. Correct.
Haha. Yes.
Seller is something like the organization that you are creating this web UI or C4C for. Consider like again
Okay.
it goes to, we'll talk about something else. Consider a Bosch.
Okay.
Okay, Bosch has various business lines. Like we the C4C is maintained for selling its what do you have, like a washing machine.
Okay.
Okay, so now the transaction is happening between Bosch and Anirudh.
Okay.
Okay, so what happens is Anirudh first calls, or he reaches to the Bosch center. Okay, then we create the customer details for Anirudh. Anirudh gives his all the details like first name, last name, email, city, place of birth, date of birth, everything, all the details.
Right.
So with all these details, which are very unlikely to change. Like once you give, you will always provide try to provide the verified or the correct information.
Right.
Correct. So this gets stored in SAP, considered currently as SAP C4C.
Okay.
Okay, so this gets stored in C4C as a master data, which is
Okay.
very unlikely to change. Okay,
Right.
now you are interested in the product washing machine. Okay,
Okay.
now you will be now there will be a sales code that will be created for this material. Now the material will be washing machine.
Okay.
Okay, the sales code will be created for this, and then this code, it is very likely to change because Bosch will be sending you one code, then you will say, okay, no, I don't want this code. This is the prices are too high. I want some discount. I am your XYZ customer. I have purchased like 10 items already from you. and various things. Then you will ask for discount and things like that. Then they will, what
Right.
they will do is they will again go back and they will revisit the code that they have provided, and then they will
Right.
change it. Then there will be like version one, the code which was provided earlier to you, which you rejected. Then there will be version two of the code that they will provide to you. That might be you might reject it again, like version v3. Now this transactional data, the sales code, it got changed like three times. Correct?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this is nothing but the transactional data. That is for the transaction between the end between Bosch and Anirudh.
Right.
That
Right.
is going round, 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 round. And this is nothing but the transactional data. Now, once
Okay.
the code is done, then the code gets converted to contract. There will be a contract that will be signed between. It depends, like on the business, whether they want to have a contract or they will just go for an order. Code say directly order.
Oh,
Okay,
did you say on order?
order, sales order.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah.
So what there might be different businesses wherein one business might need, okay, I want to have a quote and then I want to have a contract as well,
Okay.
and then we will be having a sales order. Or some businesses might be like, okay, quote is fine, and from the quote, like it is approved by both the things, like Bosch is also in agreement with whatever Anirudh has asked for, and then from quote we will go for sales order,
Okay.
directly order to be placed. And once the order will be placed, you get the invoice and everything, and the deal is done. Correct. So this is again a transactional data.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the basic difference between the master data and transactional
You
data.
can.
The material
Got it.
information, like washing machine is hardly to change. There will be like variants of washing machine, but it will be represented by some other, like washing machine 6 kg, 7 kg, 7.5 kg. All will be maintained as a different material. It won't be mentioned like Bosch washing machine, and then there will be a variant. They will be maintained as a different material itself. 7 kg will be
Okay.
placed as a separate material. 6.5 kg will be placed as a different material. Okay.
Okay.
So this information is very unlikely to change. Either they will discontinue the product or they will sell it. But yeah, it won't change, like today it is called as 7 kg, but from tomorrow it will be called as 7.1 kg. They will create a
Okay.
separate material for
Material.
7.1.
Okay.
Yeah. So this material is also master data.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Then there are like organization is also master data, like org structure that you will be coming across, like the Bosch as a head office will be at some place, then there will be some other organization as a child dogs and everything, then there will be a sales plant, and then there will be a division office and everything. Then this is also a organization structure. This is very unlikely to change. It is not like the division which was there in Kamanhalli is now been called as something else. So
Right.
they what they will do is they will close that division and then they will add a new division for it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how it works. So this is nothing but an master data. Again, the sales organization is again a master data, and this and the sales code, sales order, opportunities, and this are nothing but the transactional data.
Okay.
Are you clear about this then?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay, so this is how it used to work in SAP C4C and SAP CRM. This is entirely about the evolution of SAP from our CRM perspective. We are talking about CRM perspective because we are going ahead with that model. We are not
Right.
bothered about how it got evolved with PP, and everything. We are talking about how the SAP CRM came into picture
Right.
and what was it need. And yeah, so yeah, this is all that I wanted to discuss in today's session.
Okay.
Hopefully, we are not running into things, we are not bombarding the things, but yeah, I want you to be clear about what are the
Yeah.
basics of
That's
SAP.
right. Yeah. So today, like, it helped me out a lot because it gave me a better understanding. Now I have like a background to like connect to whatever like I've been working on, because whatever I'm working on, I had to like, because it was a project that was already on its way, and I had to just jump there as an intern. So yeah, so this is very very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, basically, you should be aware of what are the basics of it. So now you are aware like what was the R3. Now what you might have heard like if you hear a term like ECC, ECC is something same as ERP. So what it
Right.
is, ERP as I mentioned, it's a concept. It's a concept, but what the module is, what the product from SAP is, it is called as ECC.
ECC. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
so what you will hear is ECC or S4. Now there is some more thing that came just now. I recollected. With this evolution, we talked about R3. The ERP is nothing but the concept and everything. Now there came like S4 as well, which is very much booming, like anything. All the clients and everything they want to move from ERP to S4.
To
Basically,
S4.
the
Yeah.
work-wise it is same. What the thing is, the database, the underlying database over here and here, it's a major difference. So it is basically a faster database. It retrieves means the database is mapped or something. The database is configured in such a way that the result, like when you hit the search and you get the end result, it is fast enough in S4 HANA. And there are
Right.
various other capabilities of the S4 HANA as well. So you might
Okay.
hear like many things like HANA. So HANA is nothing but the database on which
Okay.
all the models will be running. Like C4C, C4C, you will also hear a term called C4 HANA.
Right. Right. Yeah. It keeps. Yeah. It come up a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are mentioning like C4 HANA. Why it is called as C4 HANA? There are the various product like Cloud for HANA. All the cloud that is based on HANA database. That is why they are promoting it as C4 HANA.
Okay.
The cloud is like all the cloud products and based on HANA database. So this is like this is how the term is coming from, cloud for HANA.
Okay.
Okay. Now S4 HANA is same thing like, but it is an on-premise system, and C4 HANA is nothing but on cloud.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, this is how the journey was for SAP, and which evolved into CRM, and then now we are into another ballgame of a cloud, that is C4C, cloud for customer.
Yeah.
So this is about today's session. What we will be covering in our next session is what is the architecture overview of
Okay.
C4C, the architecture of C4C, like what are the underlying components, and I have mentioned you like CRM as a basis step that you might remember for now.
Right.
That is how it takes the ownership and how it won't take ownership for C4C. So these things we'll be talking about in our next session.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, which will be on Friday at
Yeah.
approximately the timing I will convey it to you. It might be at
Okay.
8 a.m. or it might be at 9 a.m. max, but yeah.
Okay. Sure. We will. Yeah. So you just leave me a message, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
someone will
That's perfect.
communicate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can always get the recordings of the session that